Hey, let's talk about terrible songs. We haven't done that in a little while. I think the last couple that I did months ago was I got through most of the millennial stuff and all the butt rock and pop, but there's always new stuff popping up, so I'll always go back around and grab ones I missed. And going through the 2014 songs, I found a lot that I had missed. I think I had mentioned Wiggle. Love Snoop, but that song was so stupid. Blurred Lines is problematic. We used to play it for years in the band, but in multiple ways it's problematic, so it kind of killed itself. With the lawsuit for the copyright, and then the lyrics themselves are pretty problematic. All About That Bass, ugh. I hate everything Meghan Trainor does. She's just absolutely awful. Got the Anaconda song. Oh, Nicki Minaj using... What was the sample was from Super Freak, or You Can't Touch This. I don't know, whichever one you want to call it. And then interpolating the lyrics from Baby Got Back with the Anaconda thing. It just like, it's just weird and dumb. I don't hear it as much anymore, so it doesn't bother me as much now, but terrible song. Magic, Rude. That song, the lyrics are just dumb, problematic. It's such a fun song, but it was just so overplayed, and now it's just cheesy. Let's talk about some Taylor Swift. Oh, Look What You Made Me Do. Was one of her most awful songs. It's Right Said Fred. It's I'm Too Sexy for This Shirt. That melody. And it's just retarded. But worse is Bad Blood, because Bad Blood has cool melodies in it and a cool idea, but she's singing it off time. If you count the music when she's singing and she starts singing, it's like it's poorly written. That could have been a good song, but it's just so poorly written. Moving on, let's change gears completely. That Dragon Force song, Through the Fire and the Flames, is the most annoying generic metal. The guitar stuff is impressive, but it just sounds like video game music. It's terrible. Lewis Capaldi, his song, that song was so bland, I didn't even bother writing down the name of it. Speaking of names of songs, the other one that's in that same sort of style that's a little newer was that 7 Years song. I don't even remember who sang it, but it's like, once I was 7 years old, wingy waggy boom, honey goody goo. Oh, it's terrible. Some low-hanging fruit. Red Solo Cup is obviously terrible. Applause. Got to talk about that one. Lady Gaga. It's the third time trying to rewrite that same hook. Basically, Poker Face and Applause and a couple of other her songs are basically the exact same song, with just shuffles the groove or the melody around a little bit. Beyonce, If I Was a Boy, like, their attempt to try to be deep and sensitive and like, look at this from my issue, and just terrible. A song that I don't hate that recently has just been earworming itself into my head is that ooh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She's right there when I need her. That song has buried itself, and I don't even know why. I think it was on 10 years ago video, and it just stuck, and it's driving me crazy. I hear that song in my head more now than I heard it in real life in 2014. Next, let's talk about those no guitar bands from the early 2000s and even late 90s were some of them. The Fray and Keen and bands like Five for Fighting and that Josh Groban guy and all of those just balladier type of, like those bands that makes Mumford & Sons sound like Metallica. It's just, I need to look that up. Is that, what do you even call that genre, the no guitar band genre? I guess most of it would fit into adult contemporary. Whatever you call it, it's terrible. I'm basically just stumbling through the list here of songs that I'm thinking of. In the research for some of these and some of my year ending in a number videos, I found a genre of YouTube videos where these people they make the exact same videos. They do like the worst songs of 1974, and they always have some cute little intro that they've written, and they're usually not very good on camera like I am, but they've got this formula where they do like a bumper with the number, and then they go through each song and they do like dishonorable or honorable mentions, and it's just funny that the formats are exactly the same. I mean, the best one that does it is Todd in the Shadows. I watch all of his videos. He's great, but some of these other guys, some of them are better at talking on camera, some of them are better writers, some of them should not be on camera at all, and I don't know, it's just a weird thing that I noticed with these weird the conformity, the format. Back to the terrible music. I'm usually going to be down mostly on modern pop and the butt rock and bro country and mumble rap and SoundCloud rap or whatever you call it, and most R&B, most kid songs or novelty songs I'm just not a fan of. So if they're noteworthy, I'll put them on the list and mention them. But for the most part, most of that stuff is just terrible. There's even a whole new genre now of like YouTube music. And I'm not real sure what most of it is, but what I've heard is terrible. Like I said, I'll continue to go around and pick up older songs that I missed, because the list is always changing. In 10 years, the songs that I hate could be completely different if certain ones fade and other ones come and go. Some of the classic stuff usually stays the same, but some of the newer stuff, I may hate it at the time, and then after 10 years pass and it's not really as bad as it was if it just wasn't overplayed like it was. And sometimes new stuff just hasn't permeated my range of annoyance yet, so I don't immediately know if I hate it. It takes a little time for some songs. So many of the top songs are way less annoying after their popularity wanes a little bit. So I apologize if I mention certain songs over and over again. They just either constantly keep jumping up onto my list, or somehow I'm reminded of them. Back to the 2014 couple that I missed were pretty much anything with Jason Derulo on it. I don't hate that guy. I saw him in some interviews. I actually like him as a person, but oh, these songs are terrible. That's why that Wiggle song is terrible. That Talk Dirty song was terrible. Yeah, I think he's on that Ariana Grande Problem song, and it's like the exact same song. They used the same saxophone sample in every song for like 18 months there. It was like every song had that do that freaking trumpet sample, and it's just maybe I'm with it. Beep, 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 doo, doo, doo. I wish I could get those songs to just move out of the popular conscience. Last one I want to mention for 2014 would be Uptown Funk. And I don't hate that song. You would think I would be sick of it after playing it for 10 years since it came out in bands and stuff, but it's such a perfect song. You can't hate Uptown Funk. All right, let's try to grab a couple of these low-hanging fruit, and then we'll finish this video out. You got all your dance craze songs, the Whippin' Nay Nay and the Dougie and the, all that kind of crap. Two songs from about 2 decades ago would be You're Beautiful and I Had a Bad Day. And now that those have faded out of... oh man, there was a time when those two songs were played every 5 minutes on the radio somewhere, and it was just, oh, you couldn't get away from them. Now that they've faded, You're Beautiful is still a sappy, dumb love song, but Had a Bad Day, that Daniel Powter song, is actually not that bad of a song. I actually kind of like it now that I don't hear it every 5 minutes. Another problematic song would be one Lady Gaga probably tries to separate herself from nowadays after all the business the last couple of years with R. Kelly. They did a song together called Do What You Want, and it's a little hard to watch knowing what we know now. Just put it that way. Other low-hanging fruit, I guess you could say, Crazy Frog and Baby Shark and What Does the Fox Say? Awful song. I think it could probably, in hindsight, it'll be thought of more as a novelty song, but it was a legitimate fucking dance song at the time. Black Eyed Peas have a lot of songs that are sort of problematic nowadays, but My Humps has to be at the top for just stupidity. Friday. Oh, that chick, Rebecca Black, she's got new stuff out. She's trying to make a comeback, but we should never let her forget that she did Friday. Ugh. Those that are not chronically online maybe probably didn't have to endure songs like that as much, but once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Let's wrap it up with some good old John Mayer And I'd have to say the worst is Your Body's a Wonderland. It's the most unbrainy stuff that you could think of. Just light, perfect, safe rock, pop rock, adult, contemporary, whatever you want to call it. That well, it's kind of strange because a lot of that stuff, in hindsight, a lot of that stuff that came from the 70s and 80s that's in that same style is now sort of yacht rocky. So you could almost put some of John Mayer's stuff in that yacht rock style. He's a legend, definitely. So we can allow him one dud. That's the one that paid the bills, so we'll allow him that one little caveat. Anyway, let's leave it right there, and we'll get back to you another time. Watch some more of my other videos. I've got lots of fun stuff that I talk about, so just scroll through and find something else that trips your trigger.